So when we talk about good content and value of content, like how do you think about topics? How do you think about things that aren't just you kind of tooting your own horn and actually coming up with stuff that the audience wants to hear, learn, whatever? What is there a process that you go through?
Yes, this is a great question because I feel like a lot of people in content marketing they fall into this trap where they think they need to sell something, which granted makes sense. You're in marketing, right? Like give me revenue, says the CEO. But the thing is, at the end of the day, if you view it as you're marketing as the product, you're going to be a lot less inclined to be very salesy and hypey because that is the end goal, like for them to enjoy this piece of content, right? So I anything that seems hypey, we try to move away from. In terms of what adds value to the audience, I feel like a lot of content marketers they'll start at like if you ask someone like explain to me what content marketing is, right? They'll say, oh, you need these SEO keywords to drive traffic to your blog, all that kind of stuff, and then the content sells them on the Young newsletter. Like, well, that's not wrong, but that's like the least powerful form of content marketing there is. Because that's all top of funnel stuff, right? I want to write all the bottom of funnel stuff where the pains and the pleasures all exist there. And that's the most powerful pieces of content you can create. So that's like the first place we will create ideas at. And there's a finite amount of ideas down there because, it's very small of like in terms of what kind of pains your service provides and solves, right? And then we'll work our way up to middle and then top of the funnel. But in terms of other ideas on what we think about content, the other thing that's really helpful is ask yourself, what kind of data do I own? Like what kind of data do I have that others don't? Oh, and if you don't have any data, ask yourself, well, how can I go and partner with people who do have the data so I can use that in my content? So I'll give you an example of this. So we publish an industry report every single year. It's this mammoth beast of a thing that I write, analyzing 3 years worth of businesses that were sold on the marketplace. And before I published this, so this was the third year I've done it. So, but the first year I done it, it never was around. There was other industry reports in my space, but because they didn't have as much deal flow as us, not enough businesses they were selling, they would go and scrape all the data from all the other brokers. So they were getting like list price only on businesses that sold, but they didn't know what the actual sales price was. They didn't know what the average days on market was. They didn't know what kind of terms of earnouts were in there. So, but I did, and we had the most deal flow of anyone. So we were able to put this together, and basically now those other reports don't really exist because no one wants to read the list price one because they might just be inflating the list price, right? Everyone wants to see what the sales price was. So I use that data in that piece of content, and now we use that data in all of our content to spice it up here and there. Because once you have the data, you can just reuse it over and over again. So that's a part of our process too.